Morning, everybody. We are making a quick store run. When you use your front door as a mirror. But yes, vibes, baby, vibes. I'm feeling this look today. It's got pockets. Okay. Okay, guys, we just made it to Target. Target. Okay, come on. Come on. Got your mask on, big girl. Gotta keep the kids safe.
Hi, Heidi. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Heidi.
So,
Papa!
check back with you when we get to where we're getting. So we are
I want to
somehow in the toy
pay
department.
you, Mommy.
We found us
Pay you.
some wires for their tablets.
Mom, I want to pay you,
I think-
Mommy. Mommy, I tried that. Mom,
What should I get?
I tried that. Yeah, I tried that.
Oh, we can show
I
you.
want it on the frozen.
That one.
I want it on the
Stop.
frozen.
Over here. That one.
Okay.
Oh, that
Mess it all up.
Stop touching.
What was that? That scared me.
Alright.
the wall.
Good journey.
Because it was a really nice fuzzy squishy, but then I realized that it had a
Who's
rip in
on
its
the
neck.
door?
So then I was like, oh, well, never mind.
Ball.
We're gonna see if we can find us some outdoor.
The pool.
Let's see.
Whoa. Yay. Oh, wow, yay.
That is
I want
uber
that.
cool.
I want that. Mom, I want that bubble.
You want one of these?
Yes.
Yeah, get in the car. Okay, guys, so me and my oldest are headed to a peaceful protest. We will get you guys up when we get there. We're here at the protest. Let me see your sign. No justice, no peace.
Black Lives Matter. No justice, no peace.
Hi, guys!
For 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and you'll see that on the scoreboard, a white officer, Derek Chauvin, held his knee on the neck of George Floyd, a black man, until his body was lifeless. We saw it on public television. We all, black and white and other, we all felt this horror to a human being being dehumanized. If you are not black, then you cannot understand what we go through on a daily basis. But I appreciate you listening and standing with us and being a part of the solution. So I'm grateful for all of you today, and I want to particularly say thank you to my white brothers and sisters who are here with us. Like us, you're standing up not for who is right, but for what is right. Remember, we said that Black Lives Matter. We never said only Black Lives Matter. We know all lives matter. We just need your help with Black lives, because it's Black lives that are in danger. We stand against racism in our police departments. We stand against racism in our healthcare systems. We stand against racism in our legal systems. We stand against racism in our governments and in our banking system. We stand against racism in our schools, our public schools, our private schools, our colleges, and our universities. We summarily oppose systemic racism. We stand today in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. In response to systemic racism, we can do our part to ensure that every child, black children, white children, Asian children, Hispanic children, biracial children, all children, that every child gets a high quality education. And again, our black children are not getting what they deserve. They are me, and I am them. Nobody can tell me about poverty. I know it firsthand. And there is no room for racism here. We are in a time where it is not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist. We must take a stand in word and in action. In the end, we will not remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. I challenge you, do not be a silent friend. Your presence here today says that we and you and I, that you are not a silent friend. That you are a friend who will speak up and stand up for what is right.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, just like most of you all are. Before I became a police chief, before I became a police officer, I was a minority in this country. And I understand the struggles of being a minority in this country. And that's not something that I've ever forgotten, and that's something that I will never forget, because I understand what my walk has been. And I understand by me being in the position that I'm in today, I can use my walk to help others improve their walk where they won't have the same struggles that I had. Dr. Davis mentioned that we're both from North Carolina. So we both grew up in North Carolina. We both went to amazing HBC universities. Mine was better than his, but that's a story for another day. We're both married to beautiful women who are graduates of East Carolina University. We both have reached levels, and I feel confident in saying this, that where we grew up from, that we never thought that we would be in these positions. And so while our life journeys may have started in the same place, our career paths took us to different places, but we can have the same impact on our communities from the seats that we sit in the positions that we hold. And that's what we're fighting for. That's what this fight is for. This fight is for equality. This fight is for equity. And we can't do it on opposite sides of an imaginable and invincible fence. Wherever that line is, we have to step over it. As you see, I don't speak from behind podiums because I've never liked the appearance and the look of that. I like to get out and be the same level, eye level, and equal people so they understand I'm not speaking from a perch. I'm no better than anybody else. I have my faults, I have my errors as a man, just like anybody else does. But the only way that we're going to see some positive change in this country is we have to work together. And this is a beautiful sight from what I'm seeing out here today, of peaceful people coming together peacefully for a good cause that any humane person should be able to get behind. But we know that everybody doesn't get behind this. We know that everybody doesn't get behind this. And it's easy for us to fall prey to people who want to, insert things into the equation that's going to do nothing but cause more separation and more damage to what we're trying to achieve. And those are the individuals that we have to call out. Those are the individuals that we have to take a stand against, because those are the individuals that don't want to see anything change. And I'll be the first person to admit there are a lot of people in my profession that don't want to see anything change. That's why I work my butt off to get into a position of power where I can force things to change. And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. I admit, these last 2 weeks, being a police chief, these last 2 weeks of my life have been hell. There's no other way to describe it. But I also understand that I've been living in this last 2 weeks of hell because a lot of black and brown people have been living in hell their whole lives. And so now is not the time to put your police departments and your police officers on the island by themselves and leave them there. Now is the time to come in, man, and help us.
Yeah.
Help us. We need to hear more of these stories. We need to have more conversations. We need to have more dialogue so we can get a better understanding. Doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything, and everybody needs to understand that. Having a voice doesn't mean agreement. But, man, we need people to have a willingness to listen. A willingness to listen and a willingness to try to understand. I promise you we have way more in common than we do differences. If we sit down and have an honest conversation with each other, I promise you we have way more in common than we do differences. And so we have to build on the things that we have in common to get a better understanding of those differences. And so as long as I'm here as your police chief in this community, I promise I will do my part to come to that table and listen. I just ask that you extend the same courtesy to me that I'm going to extend to you. And if we do that collectively, if we can get enough people on board to do that, I promise you we'll see some positive change in this community. Thank you all for coming out here today.
I can tell you these 8 minutes and 46 seconds are not short. And the knee on the back of it was not an easy task. And his life was taken because of systems. So let us remember the life of so many black men and women who lost their lives to brutality. At this time, if you would take a knee or bow.
Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it.